You look at your dog wagging their tail and you think, they're happy, right? Most dog owners would say yes without even thinking about it. But here's the thing, scientists who study dog behavior say you might be reading that completely wrong, and tail wagging is just the beginning. Researchers have found that dogs communicate their deepest emotions through behaviors most owners misread every single day. Some of these signals are so subtle you've probably missed them 100 times. In this video, we're breaking down 7 specific behaviors, backed by real science, that reveal exactly how your dog feels right now. Stay with me because number 5 is the one almost every dog owner gets completely backwards. Here's something most people don't realize. Dogs can't tell you how they feel with words, but they're always talking to you. Every single moment, your dog is sending out emotional signals through their body, signals that scientists have spent decades studying and decoding. The problem is, most of us were never taught how to read them. We learn to look at the obvious things, like a wagging tail or a growl. But the real emotional language your dog speaks goes so much deeper than that. Understanding these behaviors isn't just interesting, it genuinely changes how you connect with your dog. When you know what your dog is actually feeling in the moment, you can respond in a way that builds real trust between you. So let's get into the 7 behaviors scientists say reveal your dog's true emotional state. We're starting with one that almost everyone misunderstands, tail wagging. Most of us grew up believing the same thing. A wagging tail means a happy dog. It seems obvious, right? But scientists say that assumption gets dog owners into trouble more than almost anything else. Here's what the research actually shows. It's not just whether your dog is wagging, it's which direction that tail is swinging that tells the real story. Researchers at the University of Trento in Italy discovered something fascinating. When a dog wags their tail more to the right side, it signals positive emotions, things like excitement, affection, and comfort. But when the tail swings more to the left side, it signals stress, anxiety, or unease. And here's what makes this even more interesting. Other dogs can read this too. In the study, dogs watching a left-wagging dog showed stress responses in their own heart rate. They felt the tension coming off that other dog just from the direction of the wag. Think about what that means for you at home. Your dog could be wagging their tail when a new person walks in, and you assume that means they're excited and happy. But if that tail is drifting left, your dog might actually be nervous. They're not showing joy, they're working through uncertainty. Here's a simple way to observe this yourself. The next time a stranger approaches your dog, don't just look for the wag. Watch which side of your dog's body that tail is favoring. It takes a little practice, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. So the tail isn't a happiness switch, it's a directional compass pointing straight to your dog's emotional state in real time. And if the tail is one of the fastest signals to spot, there's another signal that's even more specific, and it's right there in your dog's eyes. Your dog's eyes are doing something remarkable, and most people walk right past it every single day. The shape of your dog's eyes and the way they look at you carries more emotional information than most owners ever stop to notice. When your dog is truly relaxed and comfortable, their eyes are soft, slightly squinted, almond-shaped, with a calm, loose look to them. That's a dog at ease. But when your dog feels tense, threatened, or overwhelmed, their eyes go hard. They widen, the muscles around them tighten, and the whole expression sharpens. There's one signal in particular that trainers and behaviorists treat as a serious warning sign. It's called whale eye. That's when your dog turns their head slightly away but keeps their gaze on something, and you can see the white of their eye, that crescent of white at the corner. If you ever see that, your dog is telling you they are extremely uncomfortable and feeling trapped in that moment. Now here's something that surprises a lot of owners. When your dog looks away from you during a long stare, they are not being rude or defiant, they're actually being polite. Research has shown that mutual gazing between dogs and their owners triggers oxytocin, the same bonding hormone that connects parents and newborn babies. But prolonged staring without that emotional warmth behind it reads as a challenge in dog language. Your dog looking away is their way of keeping the peace. So when your dog gives you a long, soft look, Hold it. That's real connection. And if they look away, don't push it. They're respecting the moment. Now let's talk about what's happening above those eyes, because your dog's ears are running their own emotional broadcast at the same time. If you want a real-time window into your dog's emotional state, watch their ears. They shift faster than almost any other part of your dog's body, and they're incredibly precise about what they're communicating. Forward-facing ears mean your dog is alert and engaged. Something has caught their attention and they're locked in on it. That's a neutral to positive state: curiosity, interest, focus. But when those ears pull back and flatten against the head, the meaning flips completely. Pinned back ears are a clear signal of fear, stress, anxiety, or submission. Your dog is making themselves smaller on purpose. Here's a scenario that plays out in millions of homes every single day. You reach over your dog's head to pet them and their ears go back. Most people read that as affection. The dog is leaning in, right? But that ear position is your dog signaling that they're tolerating the interaction, not loving it. There's a huge difference. Dogs generally don't love being reached over from above. It's an instinctively vulnerable position for them. Now, one thing worth knowing is that ear reading gets harder depending on breed. If your dog has large floppy ears, think Basset Hounds, Cocker Spaniels, or Bloodhounds, the range of motion is limited. You'll need to combine the ear reading with other signals like eye shape, body posture, and tail direction to get the full picture. The important takeaway here is simple. If your dog's ears pin back consistently during a specific activity, bath time, vet visits, being approached by strangers, they're communicating that the experience is stressful for them. They're asking you in their own way to pay attention. And speaking of signals we often miss, the next behavior is one most people chalk up to tiredness, but science says it means something completely different. You're at the vet's office. Your dog yawns. You think, okay, they're tired, maybe a little bored. Completely reasonable assumption. But behavioral scientists say you're likely misreading one of your dog's most important emotional tools. The researcher Turid Rugas, whose work on dog calming signals has influenced trainers and behaviorists for decades, identified yawning as one of the primary ways dogs self-regulate and de-escalate tension. When your dog yawns in a stressful or high-stimulation environment, they're not tired. They're managing their own nervous system. Dogs use this yawn as a signal directed outward, too. If another dog approaches too fast or too intensely, your dog might yawn at them. That yawn is a social message. It means, back off, let's slow this down. I'm not looking for a confrontation here. So next time your dog yawns during a training session, when a stranger comes over, or right after you've raised your voice, don't brush it off. They're telling you the emotional load is getting heavy. Context still matters. A yawn after a long walk or right before bed is just tiredness. But when the environment is charged, that yawn is a communication. We're almost at behavior 5, and this one is the one most owners get exactly backwards. Your dog is always talking to you. The tail direction, the eye shape, the ear position, the yawn. Every single one of these behaviors is a direct line into how your dog feels right now in this moment. The more fluent you get in reading these signals, the stronger the trust between you and your dog becomes. And that trust changes everything. If this video made you see your dog differently, drop a comment and tell me which behavior surprised you the most. And go watch the next video. It covers dog body posture and it connects directly to everything we just talked about.